Greetings. Here are several, 5 to be specific, quick little lessons on basic mandolin technique to get you going, Dina. So the first thing that we talked about, we're going to talk about the right hand first. As we talked about before, I want to get a nice pick like this. This is a blue chip. These are kind of expensive, but this is a Chris Thiele CT for Chris Thiele 55 blue chip. You can find those on the internet if you're interested. Just Google it. They're pricey. They're like ridiculously pricey, which makes you want to not lose them if you have them. But you can also get like the ones that Cora has, which are triangular, and I think these are good. You want a nice stiff pick that's big enough to hold on to, and you want to grip it in your hand, and you want to close your fingers. You don't want to have your fingers open. You want to, ideally. And the thing that you want to not do, which I have a really bad habit of doing, which is kind of an Irish thing, is letting that thumb go like this. Ideally, you want to hold the pick right there. And if you're getting any kind of flex anywhere, it's in your wrist. It's called the hillbilly hinge. So the first thing I want you to do is practice playing quarter notes. So quarter notes, I'll give you a quick little preview. If you're playing a fiddle song like Red Haired Boy, you'd be playing what's pretty typical is a combination of quarter notes and eighth notes. So a quarter note, there's 4 beats of the measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like when you count off a song. Or, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But 4 to the measure and 4 beats down. So it'd be a combination of quarter notes and eighth notes, right? And there are 8 eighth notes in a measure and 4 quarter notes, right? I mean, you know enough about music to know that, I presume. So when you're playing the quarter notes, you'd be playing downstrokes. When you're playing eighth notes, and we'll get into this a little bit more in detail, you play up and down. It's called like the box stroke, up and down eighth notes. Do, 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 do. If you're playing 16th notes or 32nd notes, you'd play up and down. But quarter notes and half notes, or a whole note even, would be just a downstroke. So a little bit of Red Haired Boy. Pay attention to my right hand a little bit. Can't remember the song. So if you'll notice when I'm playing quarter notes, I'm just playing a downstroke. When I'm playing the eighth notes, then I go to up and down. Down, down. So a lot of just downstrokes, unless you're playing eighth notes. So I'd like you to do like some quarter note exercises where you're just playing downstrokes. So for example, and play them on each string. So you might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, that may seem like a little bit of a simplistic exercise, and it is, but you can really, if you want to get a nice, loud, clear tone out of your mandolin, you have to really, you can't be going, you have to learn how to really get into that string. But obviously you need to know how to control it so that you're not hitting 2 strings. I mean, sometimes you might want to, but if you're just playing, let's see. Sorry, that wasn't very clean, but you get the idea. It's really important to be able to get those downstrokes. And this is like a little bit beyond the curve here at this point, but when you're playing tunes, the first and the third beat usually have a pretty heavy rhythm. So often, so that's often where those downstrokes are. So the other thing that you can do is you can get these for free on your phone, or you might have a metronome, and it's really kind of good to turn the metronome on. And play with the metronome, because that helps develop a really good sense of rhythm. And if you're playing a fiddle tune, or you learn, and I'll get you going on a simple fiddle tune at some point here in the not distant future. And those are really fun to play, because you can really you feel like you're really playing something then. And there are some really basic, easy ones that you ought to learn. But you don't want to be all over the place on the rhythm, and a metronome really helps that. So that's the quarter note downstroke. Now, obviously, I'd also like to have you work on eighth notes, which are down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And use your metronome. Download a free metronome for your phone, and you'll be set to go if you don't have one. And as you get so that you can do it, you can turn the metronome up. Practice. Crazy. Here's 130 beats a minute. Faster you go, the harder it is. And as Mike Marshall says, you can play fast or you can play loud, but you can't play fast and loud. So the faster the rhythm goes, and some tunes, obviously some bluegrass tunes, just have a blistering fast pace. It's harder to, you can't play them as loud, because you can't put as much weight into those downbeats and into just your picking in general. So anyway, that's a little something on the right hand. So work on that.